Hello, my name is Jacqueline and I'm a huge Silk fan. So I have all of her solo series books, her first appearance, and some other random books covers with her. So now I'm looking for all of her small appearances in comics. That's been my newest journey, and lately I found a whole bunch. So we're going to go through these and I'm going to show you if she's on the cover or inside. So yeah, let's get into it. First up, and these are in no order whatsoever, they're just random. Okay, first up is The Amazing Spider-Man #1. I don't remember exactly which volume this is. They've renumbered so many times, but this is a preview of her first appearance. This is exactly what the cover of issue 4 looks like, so that's how I knew that. You can barely see her, she's kind of hidden. You see her kneeling there and her elbow, Peter's elbow is covering up her face. So there's that. And then Amazing Spider-Man issue #2. Let's see. This is her in her bunker. And so if you've read any Silk books, you know that they kept her in a bunker. They didn't know what to do with her. She was very isolated. So there's a preview of that experience in this issue. And then, so that's issue 2. I already had issue 3 because she has a cameo, but her first appearance is in issue 4. And then I had 5 and 6 in here already. But that's not newly acquired. So jumping back into Amazing Spider-Man #7. So this is after her first appearance, and we see her, oh my goodness, in her first costume, the one that she spun out of silk. Thought that was really cool. And then Amazing Spider-Man #8. This is her as Cindy Moon, not dressed as Silk. And then I'm pretty sure this is the same series, but when it switches back to legacy numbering, so this is 799. And we see her in 2 pages here in this fight scene. Amazing Spider-Man #800. Let's see. It was really fun to find all of these, and like, yep, there she is. Even if it's no speaking parts, she's just there. Counts as an appearance. Oh my goodness. Okay, she's literally on the first page, lying on the ground. I'm sure she's in there some more, but found that one. Moving on to Spectacular Spider-Man #8. There's a funeral. Who died? Her and Peter having a conversation on the roof. Spider-Boy #8 and 9. She's literally just on the TV. And then in #9, she's in this fight scene. She's in the web here. I love the spider stuff where you just see all the spiders coming together. Another page. And then issue 10, Spider-Boy versus the Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse was actually my first ever spider comic, I think. And my first introduction to Silk, obviously. And then I got obsessed and got all of her solo series. Spider-Gwen #11. This one's kind of sad because Gwen needs somebody and she's like, well, I can't call Jessica, I can't call Cindy. And we see Cindy sitting alone in her bed. That makes me sad. Spider-Man Deadpool number 30. Why is she in this? Here she is on the roof. I love her art in this one. Spider-Man Deadpool number 31. She's in this scene here. Spider-Man Deadpool number 36. Here she is with the two sharks. Spider-Man, End of the Spider-Verse Part 2. This is number 2, Spider-Man number 2. She's in this several times, but let's see. Here she is. Going through the web portal. If you are a Spider-Man fan, I highly recommend the Spider-Verse. It's a lot of fun. Number 3. There she is. Number 7. New spider on this page. And then she's in this big montage too. Spider Society number 4. She's in this montage here. Amazing Spider-Man number 18. This is another series. Just in the background here. Amazing Spider-Man number 1, Oversized. I think she's in the backup story. Here. And then Amazing Spider-Man Spider-Verse Part 1 through 4. I couldn't find her in Part 3, but she's in the other 3 issues. Let's see. Hanging out with Peter. I love this part. Probably shouldn't show that, but Peter's just talking about their connection since they were bit by the same spider and how that kind of makes them attracted to each other in fun ways and how they have to fight that. So that's interesting to read about. I won't show all 4 of those, but she's in this series. Amazing Spider-Man number 44. She's on the last page where it says to be continued. And I don't have 45, so I don't know. Is she in that? Amazing Spider-Man number 48. Again, she's on the last page of this one. She's in throughout the book too, but I just think it's kind of funny. You see her like, to be continued. There we go. I have a bunch of Amazing Spider-Man 49 through 54, basically I have all of them, and then all the LRs, so she was quite frequent in this series. hanging out with the girls. She's on this cover. Another cover. Amazing Spider-Man 51. I love this page. Also, I had never seen the Venomized version of Silk. They have like, her mask is split and the teeth are sideways. It's real creepy. Just kind of in the background there. I can't really see her. Here's another version of her Venomized. I think this was the post-Venomized version. I look at Jessica being Venomized. That's crazy. And Silk's right here. This fight scene. She's on this cover. And then Last Remains 54. Or just Amazing Spider-Man 54. I think this was towards the end of the Last Remains story. Amazing Spider-Man 56, Last Remains Post-Mortem. Amazing Spider-Man 57. You can barely see her in here, but she's there. And she was in The Amazing Spider-Man, The Sins of Norman Osborn. She's on this cover and this cover. It's always interesting to see the different art styles of how they draw her. I always look for the red mask on her face. Civil War II, Choosing Sides. She's working for J. Jonah Jameson here. This is the current Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 14. So she's hanging out with not Peter, but Norman. Oh. Giant size Amazing Spider-Man. I think she's in the backup story. Prelude to the New Dimension. Oh, here she is. Howard the Duck, number 5. I think this is volume 4. She's on the cover. She's Incoming. This is a massive book. My goodness. There's a lot of characters in here. But here she is in Seoul. World War Hulk 2, The Incredible Hulk number 716 and 717. She's on the cover here. Here she is. She hangs out with Amadeus a lot, looks like. Where are you? She's on a few pages in here, but Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider number 4. This is after Spider-Geddon. And a big group of spiders here. Amazing Spider-Man 24 and the Clone Conspiracy. And in the background. And then lastly, Agents of Atlas. I have the whole 5-issue miniseries. She's on most of these covers. Not all of them. I'm not going to open those, but she's in the whole series. And that's all I have for today. Let me know if you want to see my whole Silk collection. They're mostly in this box. I have volume 1 through 5 and a bunch of random covers and who knows what else. But if you want to see my whole collection, let me know. But that's just a run through of my recent haul of Silk appearances. Thank you for watching.